Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin, just here to give you my brief Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 4 review. First impressions, I did like the episode quite a bit. I gave it a B plus overall. The action was really good. I did like the character development in this episode that Fitz had. I was actually really happy that Fitz wasn't left to basically rot. Like, obviously we know from previous episodes that he's had such a hard time communicating, and being that he's had some kind of brain damage. But near the end of this episode, he's actually had a redeem he's hit rock bottom, but he was able to come back up and help save the team in a sense. So it was really good to see him jump back right up to close to where he was before. Not exactly the same, he's still different, but it was really good. And that we're also basically, how do you say this? We are introduced to a much deeper, complex Hydra. In a sense, you could say complex, but basically this episode was based around a painting that had that alien writing that we knew, we saw from season 1, at the tail end of season 1, where we see the character Garrett writing this kind of alien writing. And then also we find that Agent Coulson is writing the same thing in season 2, and he doesn't know why, but he ends up feeling the urge to write this stuff. So yeah, they do find this painting that was found inside a church that had actually burned down, and it was 400 or 500 years old, and they end up finding that this writing was in the back. So Hydra and Coulson's team do attempt to recover this painting for themselves, obviously. But unfortunately, Agent Coulson and his team don't actually know that Hydra's involved, because this painting, in all sense, is being auctioned off at a party to pay for a new church. So when Agent Coulson and May end up going, okay, we're going to go steal it right now, and they end up finding out that General Talbot, which we obviously know is the general from the government, he's attempting to take down what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D., is at this party. And then actually, General Talbot is not General Talbot. He's actually a Hydra agent in disguise. And I'm not saying he's not actually General Talbot. He's using a special technology we are introduced to in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where obviously we know Black Widow could use that technology to look like someone else, like she did in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where she looked like one of those council members near the end of the movie, where she ends up kicking Alexander Pierce's ass and those other Hydra agents. So they introduced a technology where they're able to disguise themselves as someone else, and then Coulson doesn't know any of this until at least 60-70% into the movie, into the show itself, where they end up they're offered a deal by the general. So you can look at this painting. We'll bring you in. You can look at it in a secure facility, and we won't arrest you, and whatever you find will be ours too. And Coulson takes the deal, but he also sees, this is too easy. This isn't like the general. Like, obviously, we know from previous episodes he's a hard ass, so he's not one to usually ever give out deals like that. And then he basically sends Agent May to find out what the scoop is, and that Agent May is actually taken down by Hydra agents, and then one of the Hydra agents basically sculpts her face on her own face, and then goes incognito as Agent May, using that special technology that we're introduced to in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So yeah, basically this agent goes into the hub, or obviously we know the secret base, and then acts no different than Agent May would. Attempts to sabotage the big jet, obviously, that they have, and then it's not until about probably 10:45, which would have been close to the ending, where Agent Coulson finds out that Agent May actually isn't Agent May, and that he tests her, asking her certain questions, and he finds out it's not actually her, and then he ends up finding out it's Hydra, and then the real May is actually being how do you say this? I'm trying to explain this so well. Agent May is being imprisoned by Hydra, and by Hydra basically, and that this Hydra agent brings Coulson to where she is, and they're going to try to incapacitate Coulson, and then obviously take over what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. So this obviously doesn't go through. And then like just like situations go, Agent May is able to get out of her restraints, being that she's being tortured by a Hydra agent, and she's able to get out of her restraints, and she finds out, Agent Coulson is just outside the door kicking that other Hydra's ass. So they end up kicking each other's ass, and they were able to recover this painting. And they right in time before, because at a certain scene in near the end of the episode, one of the Hydra agents tries to get away with the painting, and he calls in reinforcements, and then Agent Coulson takes the painting and tells me, we gotta get the hell out of here. And then it was not even a couple seconds later that we see a bunch of Hydra kind of commandos, whatever you want to call them, come in with the patches of Hydra looking for them. And then the only thing they find is that there's the Hydra agents that had called them. So I tried to explain this the best I could without, running through everything. I probably did run over a couple things, but basically it's just all about this painting, and that Coulson didn't know the Hydra actually was interested in this painting. They end up getting the painting back, and then everything is really good. Fitz, if you know Agent Fitz, he ends up saving the big plane that they have. Obviously, I can't remember the name of the damn plane. I'm sorry. He ends up saying he kind of has a confidence boost in this episode. It's kind of redeeming, because obviously we know from previous episodes that he's had a hard time connecting with other agents, just since he's had that accident, and that his co-agent who usually would work with him, I think Simmons, left. And then we obviously know from Simmons that she's actually incognito as a Hydra agent, which we were actually given a little bit of a how do you say it? Just like a tidbit at the end of that episode of what's going to happen with her next episode. And then also we are given to a little bit of insight into what's going to be happening with the Hydra. Hydra leader that we know is a Kraken, who attempts to get the obelisk back. This little scene at the end it's like a there are two after scenes, in a sense you could call them, where one scene where Flowers, that girl we know from season 1, walks into her car, and then two or three guys attempt to get into the car with her, and then a guy behind her is actually the Kraken, the guy from World War II, the Hydra leader. I'm not sure what his name is, but he asks her, okay, where is the obelisk? And she says, I can tell you. And then he snaps a piece of technology onto her wrist that kind of, in a sense, hurts her. I'll just say that hurts her. And he gives her an ultimatum. So you bring the obelisk back to me, or no, in his words, he says, give back to what was mine, or you're gonna die. So he leaves her with that. And then this little piece of technology will kill her if she doesn't bring it back within 48 hours. That's what he said, at least. So it's very interesting what's going to happen. Also, with Skye's dad, which we saw last episode. And being that, I think next episode we will also see some kind of reuniting with, or at least between next episode and the following episode, we might see Skye reuniting with her dad. I know we've been kind of hinting at, that's what Marvel's been hinting at since the end of season 1, about Skye finding out what she is and where she comes from and who is her dad. So, and then we were kind of given that. I'm not sure, the guy from the previous episode who showed up and then said, okay, Flowers touched the obelisk at the end of that episode, and then she touches it and he says, it allowed you to touch it, because obviously we know everything else that touched the obelisk died. Everything changed to stone. So it's going to be very interesting what that happens with the 084, the whole idea of her being a 084 Skye, and then her dad being involved in all this, and Hydra. It's really good. It's actually become quite complex, and I'm actually liking it a lot. I can't wait to see next episode. Other than that, guys, I hope I caught everything. I try to push as much as I can into this video without it making 20 minutes. making this video 20 minutes. So the episode is really good. It's happy, and that we are introduced to more threats and more weird things. Like we are every episode, we're giving a little tidbits at the end of each episode, which I actually like, which is similar to what Marvel has done with their films, where they leave a end credit scene to kind of give a foot in the door into the next film or the next phase of what could be happening. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If I missed anything, please comment on it because I try my best to get everything I can get into this video. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, my next video should be up on Monday. I may do another part 2 of this, anything I might have missed at this episode, and then I'll do my next one, obviously. But a lot of my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reviews will be up on Thursdays, forget it, Thursdays. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Kevin, and peace out.